So, hello everybody. We'll start this press conference with Rafael Ibanez, Pietro Movaca and Cameron Woki. As usual, for the questions, raise your hand. First question, please, in the middle. Hello to all three of you. Winnie Claire for RMC Sport. I have a question for you, Rafael, and also yourself, Cameron, on this match tomorrow. How do you see, after 4 years of your mandate, after everything you've gone through together, here we are at the quarterfinal, behind that is the void. Is this the peak of what you've prepared for so far in your mandate? And more specifically for you, Cameron, you are against the best in the world in the second rows. You've already played against them. Can you tell us a little bit more about this World Summit for second rows that we will see tomorrow at the Stade de France? Well, it's a big game, that's clear. Playing South Africa, who won the competition 4 years ago, in the Stade de France. A elimination game, a knockout game in front of a French Republic audience. What could be better? That's what I'd answer. As for myself, I'm expecting a tough physical game against a second row that has played together a lot, who are physically strong. But I know that in Marseille we were able to match them in the physical challenge, all the more so tomorrow because the stakes are very high. It's a World Cup quarter-final. But yeah, we just need to match them physically in the second row. They're two very complementary players and they play together a lot. Hello, gentlemen. Here on the right, a question for Cameron. For 4 years now, especially since COVID, there is a pretty mad atmosphere in the Stade de France, a lot of support, a lot of fervour, a lot of singing, a lot of visuals. Will all that push you? Yes, we need it. We need this crowd supporting us and who've been supporting us ever since I've been wearing this blue shirt. It's a plus for us, and it's a plus to play a World Cup in France, of course. So we will be needing the public's support for tomorrow's game, which will be they'll be our 16th man, and they will push us to our limit. Hello, gentlemen. A question for Pietro. In fact, 4 years ago, when you were in Japan, you said you would be giving up you had to give up because of injury. But since then, you are back in the team. So could you please tell us how you lived those last 4 years and this World Cup up till now, please? Well, I was lucky enough to be playing for Toulouse after the injury in 2019, so I did get some game time. I was also lucky enough to be part of the group in 2019. And yeah, I did all the preparation. I was supposed to play my first game, but I got injured during the setup, and I just told myself that it was fated not to be my time. So I worked hard to try to get back into wearing this blue shirt, and I've now spent 4 years with Julien, Pierre Bougarit or Gaëtan, and we've been touring a lot with the France team. I didn't know we would get an injury against New Zealand, but we've been training and we're ready for that. And we need to answer the call at any point. Hello, gentlemen. A question for Cameron. What changes in the game where there's no joker, and what sort of week did you have? Did you stay very calm, or did you try and spare some energy, or is there a lot of excitement which you need to contain? Well, the excitement, well, of course, we're here and we want to be here. and the week went as usual. We trained in the same manner because, of course, the preparation in everyone's head is different. This is a high-stakes game. So either we win or we go home. So they're knockout games. They're games we want to play, whether in your club or in the national team. That's why we play this sport, to get this sort of emotion, to play for these kinds of stakes. So we're rather calm this week. We're rather relaxed. We've tightened the group up. So for us, as the forwards, we've talked a lot about ball winning, which will be a very important element of the game for us tomorrow. So we've tightened up the group, and quite a few smiles in training and at the hotel and off the pitch, because we're enjoying these moments as well. It's a World Cup. We're human beings, and we need to enjoy every moment and, of course, enjoy each other. Hello, Yves Guidi from Progrès. Question for both of you, Pietro and Cameron. How do you resolve the complex equation of the South African lineout? So, well, how do we do that? Well, we analyse them a lot. And there's a lot of analysis going on. We know that they're the teams who have won the most lineouts in the competition with those two blocks, Esterbeth and Mostert, who can both climb very high. But there's always an alternative. So in the lineouts, we can't really block everywhere, and there will always be exits. So we'll be trying to find those exits, not to overcomplicate things, to play simple. But our goal is to have our offensive balls and to bother them the most as possible defensively. Yeah, of course. No, we've got good throwers as well. But no, I hope it will go well in terms of ball winning. We've worked quite a lot on this, and we have a big challenge ahead of us in the lineouts. And they're nice games for me as well to match up against the best opposition possible. It enables me to progress and also to underscore the effectiveness that we have in the France team. Hello, gentlemen. Camille Macali from L'Equipe. A question for Raphael. The first big meeting is being started with mixed emotions from your players. Have you worked specifically to get into the game mentally? Are you going to modify the preparation for this quarterfinal? Well, not just for this game, but since the beginning of the competition, even for the last 4 years. Every beginning of the week is a debriefing, an analysis of the game that's just been played. Of course, in terms of technical rugby analysis, but also the mental aspect. And in that sense, we have two resources who are essential in our setup, Robertin and Michael, who are with us regularly and who try to anticipate the different types of scenario that we might encounter. So, yes, I understand the question in terms of this idea of stress during the opening game, which was quite legitimate as far as I'm concerned, but maybe the context is slightly different this time. But I also think that when we refer to what Rassi Rasmus said, for example, about the 60 million South Africans at home supporting them, well, I think we also have an asset ahead of this game, which is to be playing at the Stade de France with an audience that will be vibrant and will, I hope, support, encourage our team. I believe there's a real evolution in this sense at the Stade de France. For some time now, we've been feeling that the crowd wants to help the players, not just celebrate the points scored, but to support offensive tackling, for example, to support the team when they are defending the line in dangerous situations. And that's quite remarkable. That's a change that is very interesting for me in terms of our team developing. Vincent Pellegrini from Radio France. Question for Raphael. Were you surprised by the team selection? You talked about the half-backs. Does that let you guess what the South Africans' tactic will be? We'll wait for the kickoff because we could surprise right up to the kickoff. Honestly, as for New Zealand, anything can happen. We're preparing for everything. Actually, of course, it's a chess game. We're talking strategy, pre-match strategy here. So we're preparing for anything. Piato, quite rightly, this South African pack has been presented as the world reference for some years now. How do you prepare for this? You're at the core of the French pack, at the heart of the French pack. So how do you prepare mentally differently for this kind of challenge? No, I think before any game, whether they were warm-up games, pool games, or a game like this, we prepare for it as we do all those games as knockout games. But we know that ball winning is South Africa's strong point. They always say that they dominate everyone, but we'll see on Sunday. Hello to all three of you. Pierre-Romain Falcana Plus at the back. During your last tour, Raphael, you prepared the players to play a quarterfinal, a semi-final, or a final. At what point do you think this counts in the preparation for this quarterfinal and for the players as well? How does it help you not to be going into the unknown in a way? Well, we feel that we've put all the odds on our side, whether on the strategic side or in the preparation. Of course, in our progression since our first meeting in June. So I think we've been together for 15 weeks now. So we've been trying to, as best as possible, calibrate the players' preparation. And before France-Italy, our technical director said this game should allow us to enter into periods where we would feel physically at the very top of our abilities. So maybe in that sense, Cameron and Piatu could answer that question for you. But of course, this game is a decisive game and we've put all the odds on our side. Hello, Clément Martel for Le Monde. Piatu, you mentioned ball winning, but the scrum, the South Africans like to mark their opponents in the scrum. Do you prepare specifically for this kind of game? And is it all the more important than in other games to be right there at the beginning? Well, when I was talking about ball winning, I was talking about the line out and the scrum. We know that they count on their scrum quite a lot. So in the game in Marseille against South Africa, everything went well in the scrum. And we've been preparing together with William Servat. We've been working on the links, on the scrums, on the link-ups. So as I said, I'm looking forward to Sunday to see what they put in front of us. Hello, gentlemen. Alors Claire from La Montagne. A question for Cameron. You're from Ile-de-France area. What does it represent for you to play a quarterfinal in Saint-Denis? Is there an extra emotional dimension to it? Thank you. Yes, of course. It's important for me, knowing that I was born in Saint-Denis. So yeah, it's important for me to be able to play this kind of game at home in Ile-de-France. I'm quite proud of belonging to this area, to this region, because it wasn't always easy. But I'm still happy with what I've been able to accomplish, what other players from Ile-de-France have been able to accomplish. So I'm not just talking about myself and my family, but also for those players who dream of playing a World Cup final in France or in the Stade de France, as I was able to. So yes, a lot of emotion. But the most important remains the game ahead of us and what we will produce collectively. So this part of I'll put the emotions to one side, but they remain inside me because they give me a boost, and it does remain an important factor. This will be the final question. Hello, Ines Rigoyen from TF1. question for Cameron and Pietro. Seeing you and all the other players together, we felt you quite relaxed and serene. Is that because you're not allowing yourselves to think about this home quarter-final against the world champions, or is that a result of the 4 years of work on the mental preparation? Well, we're relaxed because Antoine's back. No, we're relaxed because most of the players who are here are getting a taste of the final phases. We're lucky enough to play with the Toulouse guys who are in knockout stages every year. But I think we're all used to this kind of meeting, even if it's quite different here. It's a quarter-final in the World Cup. Very few players have been able to say they've done this in 2019. But so it's an important game, but we remain relaxed because it's still rugby, and we don't put the pressure on each other. We get on well together, so everything's going well. That's great. Thank you, everybody. This is the end of the press conference.